Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Stops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Welcome back to the Fixed Stops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Katrina Ness at Bozard Ford Lincoln. And this panel, Ed Roberts is here with us as well and his entire team. Katrina, it has been such a pleasure getting to meet everybody and see all of the amazing things at Bozard.
Yes, through this event, we've got to meet a great group of people as well as learn about the culture here at Bozard. So we're so excited to learn more about it in this panel as well.
Well, everybody, Ed, you don't need an introduction, but I would love to get everybody to go down the line, introduce themselves, and say what they do here at Bozard.
I'm Ed Roberts. I'm COO here at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
I'm Cameron Brown, and I work in the parts department in the mobile fleet.
I'm Jason Davis. I work for parts department for a mobile fleet.
I'm Herb Mast, and I'm the Chief Alignment Officer.
I'm Dave Stalvey, and I'm the e-commerce sales director.
Wow, so you guys are from all across the departments of the dealership. So as a whole, how does Bozard Ford Lincoln cultivate a win from within culture here? And how does that empower employees at all different levels?
Well, truly, that our most powerful asset, or our best asset, is our people. And when we give them an opportunity to become the best versions of themselves, then we all win. And when we was developing our tagline for Bozard University, we had a focus group. It was none other than Cam says, why don't we call it Win From Within, as we was trying to figure out what's going to be our tagline. And he said it very low and under his voice, like, it won't be this, but here's one. And I mean, it says it all. It's Win From Within, and that's what we do. We win with our people.
Yeah. So Cam, what made you come up with that slogan, and what was going on in your mind that made you think of that? And what does it mean to you?
Well, I think it's because they always want to promote from within, and instead of, for most companies, if they hire from the outside, and then it helps build the culture where it's. Sorry, I get a little nervous. So promoting from the, say if you start at the bottom, then you can work your way up to the top, and it just is. It's a good way to have it done.
We continue to move forward.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I would say the win within from within. It honestly starts from the very top of the dealership, and it goes down to the directors, to the management, to the team leads, all the way down to the entry level positions. Not only do they provide us, but they encourage us to be part of Bozard University, which puts us through some leadership classes and teach us about building a culture that keeps a positive environment around us. And I think that really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Herb? So I spend a lot of time on leadership. And for most people, it's about motivation. And the question is, what motivates an individual? And what you learn is there's a lot of extrinsic motivators, how we're paid, how we're disciplined and those kinds of things. But winning from within is about understanding the intrinsic, the internal things that motivate people, and autonomy, mastery, and a sense of purpose. And this whole idea of mastery and how do I become better? And so how do we help motivate our people? How do we help them to win? How do we help them understand what they want to accomplish in life and then align together for our mutual purpose?
That's awesome. And when your employees are individually winning, the organization as a whole is. And customers see that as well. That's awesome.
That kind of goes right into how we manage in sales, which is we've got a three-pronged attack. We want to motivate, we want to educate, and then we want to celebrate. And with that doesn't always necessarily have to be something that you hang up. It doesn't have to be a big banner. It could just be winning the day or winning the phone call or winning that conversation and helping a client get better, helping one of your other coworkers get better. So it starts from the day that they onboard. We have a great onboarding process here at Bozard Ford, and we continue it with our B-Top Club and then our Leadership Academy.
The win from within culture is really evident when you go to any department here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. But I'd love to hear a little bit more from you individually about the role that mentorship has really had, in the development of your leadership and being able, to really grow within this organization. So Dave, I'll start with you. What roles do leadership and mentorship play in personal and professional growth?
Quite a bit, to be honest with you. I think that particularly what we have here available to us in Bozard, not just with an on-site coach, an alignment director, if you will, we also have individual mentors that will hold each other accountable. I've got a great relationship with somebody in service that I would consider to be in my mentor cabinet, if you will, that holds each other accountable for maybe when you go below the line or maybe when you need to be a little bit more above the line. And those interdepartmental relationships in a dealership over my 20 years, I haven't found that common. We do that here very well.
Herb, I know you threw out a very, very fancy title that has, I'm sure, explain to, how does your role really help in that personal growth and leadership?
So there's a great quote from a guy named Charles Lauer that says, great leaders don't force people to follow, they invite them on a journey. And the question is, what journey does the individual want to play? And how do we find the opportunity for that person to fill a role that aligns perfectly with them? And so mentorship, one of the things we're working on more and more, and we haven't perfected it yet, but is this idea of one-on-ones. One of the greatest opportunities in any team is to focus on developing people, and that only happens in a one-on-one scenario. You can't do that in group settings. So we invest an incredible amount of time, probably 50% of my week is spent in one-on-ones with individuals and hearing what's up on their minds and helping to develop them.
And Herb, I imagine that all of them think and see you as an amazing mentor. In that
I
aspect,
appreciate that.
you're taking the time. Jason, what do you think about mentorship and how it helps build others up?
It immensely has affected my life, not only professionally, but personally. Herb has been a big part of it, and so has this man, Ed Roberts. They've really pushed me and made me view things differently and have a little bit of a different perspective on things. It's helped my personal life, my professional life, dealing with some employees, customers. I think it just trickles down. So I'm super thankful for the opportunity that we have here.
Of course. Cameron or Ed, do you guys have anything to say about mentorship and how it builds others and your employees around you?
Yeah, it's really helpful when you know that people care and they just want to keep pushing you to do more and be your best that you can be and get the most out of every day for everything.
And we hear the saying that you don't know what you don't know. And that's with everybody. We don't know what we need to continue on that journey of progression. And sometimes we have some areas that we want to improve on, but a lot of times we have to help them with the identification of the areas that would benefit them the most.
Yeah.
And then lead them down that journey. You can't force feed them. They have to want it. And when you create those paths for them to chase after, as you lead them through those, as you lead them up to them, and then they embrace them and run with them, then you get success stories like you hear up here.
Wonderful. So from those individual success stories, how does that translate to customer satisfaction?
When you have a happy employee, it carries over to the happy customer. A lot of times we beat people over the head when they don't do something correctly, and then we tell them to go out and take care of a customer. Well, can they really do that when they're still licking their chops or pulling themselves back together? So you got to take care of your people so they'll take care of their customers. And when you do that, customers feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% true because I've been working here going on almost 11 years. And during my interview process, I think I asked Ed, why would I want to come to Bozard and work? And this is exactly what he said is our focus is customer satisfaction, but more so importantly is our employee satisfaction. And it's held true. It's a wonderful place to work, and I'm grateful to be here. So.
That's awesome. And we are such a customer-facing industry, so we see that as important.
Yeah, when you have the positive attitude, it just trickles down from us to the customers. Very similar to what we talk about. There's an experience you can compare to your experience at Chick-fil-A versus McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know, most people would say you go to Chick-fil-A, you have a much more positive experience. You know, and that's because they've built a positive culture within the business, and that's what we're doing here, and it shows.
For sure.
Our employees are basically our first customer.
Yeah.
We are selling to them Bozard Ford and why it's a great place to work and why we should help our customers. And to get that buy-in, we have to offer them something different. So we are looking to be better than the Chick-fil-A in that reference. We are looking to set the standard, not follow the standard.
I think that's a great example because you truly do see the customer experience different as well as the employee experience different at an example of Chick-fil-A and an example of here. So,
Everybody, it has been such an honor to get to discuss with you all of the wonderful things that are happening at Bozard Ford Lincoln. And you all are just such shining examples of this win from within culture. And I want to thank you too for giving us the opportunity for Katrina and I and Ted to all be here with you today at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
Thanks for being a part of the journey.
Everyone, on behalf of Ted Ings, Katrina Ness, and myself, stay tuned. We have more segments coming up next.
Just looking at pictures of baby Bo. Check out my jacket right here. Check out that baby right there. The windbreaker.
Here's the one of you and Poppin. With your pixie cut.
In 1949, Fred H. Bozard Jr. and his wife set off on a remarkable journey, one that would shape the history of their family and their surrounding community forever. The Bozard Ford Company was established just off of US 1 in the quaint little town of St. Augustine, Florida. At that time, the population was just 14,000 residents. Little could they have known that this little community would soon evolve into the thriving St. Johns County we know today, now teeming with over 300,000 people.
It was the frontage. They had cars and stuff, a small little lobby that you would walk in, and the service department was connected to the side of it. So it was small. It was very small.
Well, everything was smaller than you could.
Everything was
You could
smaller,
walk an
so.
elephant downtown St. Augustine. It was so small. Yeah.
Taking the reins in the late 70s, Fred Bozard III assumed the responsibility of carrying on the family legacy, unaware that his small store and staff of less than 40 people would eventually support over 300 team members and their families.
The nice thing about Dad is, although he was extraordinarily intelligent, I think he led a good team, you know, for the size store that we were back then.
I think that's been a lesson for us too along the way that we've, tried to carry on, is the willingness and openness to surround yourself with people who, quite frankly, might be smarter than you, might be more more experienced, more knowledgeable.
I want them all smarter
all of
than me.
that.
I want them all smarter than me.
In the early 2000s, Fred received the devastating news of a cancer diagnosis. It was during this challenging time that a relative named Mike Shadd stepped in. As he cared for the family business, his goals were clear: enhance the facility, steer them through the Great Recession, and protect the cherished family business until Fred's children, Letty and Bo, were ready to take the reins. Little did he know that their journey would not merely be one of survival, but of remarkable triumph, as they emerged as one of the highest performing dealerships in the entire nation.
So if Dad was, kind of the first step into just surrounding yourself with folks that are smarter, Mike was the first step into creating a culture that allowed people to grow, right? Instead of just bringing them in at already smart or already experienced. Mike was someone that if you were younger in the car business, or you had some vision and you loved this business, he created cultures in all of his stores that you could come in at whatever place, technician, sales associate, service advisor, sales manager, service manager, and you could have some empowerment.
Throughout their 73 years in business, the Bozards have encountered countless unknowns and unforeseen events. Yet amidst the uncertainties, certain truths have remained steadfast since the very beginning. As Fred III understood well, this community was truly unlike any other. A place where even in the face of enormous growth, people still enjoyed that hometown feel.
I think it's so interesting how everything we do, really with our team, was born out of something that was special to us, right? That was born out of something that was smaller, and we grew up, but we kind of never let go of that core reason. We're in bigger buildings now. We have different food at the Christmas party or whatever, but it still feels like, to me, that same family function that was 25 people, in our garage, back in the 80s.
Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has stood as a beacon of commitment to family, unwavering core values, and a vibrant community. Today, we invite you to join us in shaping the future chapters of this extraordinary tale, the remarkable story of Bozard Ford Lincoln. Together, we look to forge an even stronger legacy, one that lasts for generations to come.
In automotive, we know that innovation drives us forward. The Fixed Ops Roundtable Certified Program is designed to help preferred dealers and partners with powerful tools, resources, and marketing to achieve even greater success. Ted Ings and I invite you to learn more today at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings. I'm here at Bozard Ford Lincoln with Mike King from Revolution Parts, and we have with us today the panel on Bozard Built. And Mike, what you and I are seeing around the industry, amazing strides being made, not just in parts, but in accessories and customization as well.
Absolutely. It's pretty amazing what they're doing here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. As a car enthusiast myself, seeing the customization projects and what you're building, and really bringing an already fabulous product to another level for your customers is pretty impressive. So if you guys could introduce yourselves and what your role in Bozard Built is.
Sure. I'm Anthony Huddleston. I'm one of the accessory service advisors responsible for putting these builds together with clients.
John Douglas, service manager.
My name is Grace, and I'm the director of brand experience, so I help with the marketing.
Billy Arndt, accessories advisor.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Go ahead.
And Tom Renard, I'm the new vehicle sales director.
All right. Well, Grace, since we were here last at the Fixed Ops Roundtable about a year and a half ago, it appears this Bozard Built appears to be extremely new to us, but we're seeing it now throughout the dealership and around the campus. Talk to us a little bit about how it's enhanced the customer experience and engagement and so on.
So customer experience-wise, I think it's been able to showcase what kind of customizations are available because they can go out on the lot and see these really cool trucks on display, but also getting our name and awareness out there of like what this logo is and what Bozard Built is, just added some awareness of here's all the things that you can do to make your truck yours.
And Anthony, how does this typically get introduced to the customers? Does it happen in service? Does it happen in sales?
It happens on both sides, I think. Like Chris was saying, when they're seeing them on the lot, they see these preloaded vehicles and they go, oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
And then service, when they come in asking for smaller accessories, and then we can kind of open the door to what all's possible to put on their vehicles and kind of put their dreams, make their dreams come true with what they want to do. I think it's important to take them on a journey, not just a transaction, and having the customers put their own personal touch on that is a way to do that.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. It's like Grace said, it's put a name to what we do in accessories. Bozard Built, it's one of those deals where it gets the name out there and customers ask about it. It's got a lot of merchandise, and it's one of those deals to where it just creates a lot of energy and excitement. So it's been great.
Billy, I like that name, Bozard Built. Okay, that is now a new brand of its own.
Yes, it is. Came up with that. It was a couple of years in the making, coming up with the brand. We wanted to bring a name
to the experience. And I think that's what we've achieved here.
And it's very noticeable as these vehicles drive by or they're coming through the service drive. You can pick them out easily. That's Bozard Built right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, Tom, is that something that you help build on the sales side, in the course of, the sale, or does it happen after the sale is made?
It's really both twofold, right? So we do preload some vehicles and to showcase what we can do here as a dealership. But what we've found is the whole reason people are doing this is they want something different, right? And so customizing the vehicle to their needs and what they like in particular, from wheels to bumpers to light bars. And, to Anthony's point, we're finding more and more every week we do a different build, and maybe there's some new product we didn't even know about. Customers like, hey, I'd really like to put this on my vehicle. So we do a lot of that where we're introducing the customer to the accessories department in order to create that handoff to where they can then customize it, and then we can wrap that all into the financing of the deal as well.
Mike, pretty fascinating.
It is indeed. The challenges that you face in scaling, and to your point, Grace, in marketing, I mean, it kind of lands on your shoulders to bring the masses to the team so that they can perform their magic. What do you see as the challenge? How do you? It seems like Bozard's mantra is do it better than everybody else and then do more of it. Yeah. So how do you bring that to the Bozard
Doing
Built?
more of it is a good way to put it. Of just if awareness is what we need, then we just have to keep telling people, keep showing people, just keep doing more of that. So we did a lot of branding, shoots, video, photography, created a Bozard Built website so that people could go on and look at all the different options, and also created merchandise that we started with our employees so they could wear the merchandise. And then it's kind of like a talking point. This hat says Built. And so I was like, oh, what's Built? And then you get to, start into a conversation of, oh, it's Bozard Built. So it's like lots of different directions that we were trying to hit people to help gain awareness of what it is. And it's not just one thing, like marketing is not just doing one thing, like not just putting it online. We try to hit it from as many different angles as we could.
It sounds like you got it under control for sure. Now, Grace performs her magic. The crowds come in, they pick out a truck, and then they say, all right, I want to make it mine. How hard have you found it to be to do more and more of that? Do you find that you need more of a team, a larger team, more space, more inventory? Scaling always is a challenge.
Yeah, we've definitely grown. We've added more base to our team and more employees, technicians, and advisors. So it's been something we've had to scale for sure, because the demand, once we created Bozard Built, it blew up. It definitely is enlarged, and we've had to add people to that, and supplies, and kind of mainstream what we're buying and what we're putting on, and create packages that we do for people to choose from.
Awesome. And do you find that it starts out with a short conversation? All right, I just bought my new truck. I'm a performance guy. My daily driver is a Raptor. So, but I want my own spin. But does it start with, well, I'd like to update it with a set of tires, and then it goes from that to a lift, and then from there to a light bar? I mean, does it start to snowball?
It definitely does. That's what we usually do. The customer will come in and say, hey, this is what I just bought. I'm excited. And then we sit them down and we customize a package for them. And we spend time with them. Like you're telling me a little bit of things you like, and we'll take that and we'll go, this is what we can offer, and this is what we can do for you, and this is how we can do it. And the customers they get all giddy when you're in there, the goosebumps, you make them feel it, and they just love it. So you get to build and customize it to their needs.
It's obvious that Bozard Built is a brand on the growth path, and looking forward to seeing more of these vehicles on the road. Ted, what do you think?
Mike, I'm thinking that a lot of dealers are missing out on the opportunity by not doing this. There's more and more getting into it now, but between accessories and customization and things like e-commerce, okay, there's a big opportunity for dealers to really enhance what they do with what they already have. Okay, talk to us about the future, Tom. Okay, how do you what are you seeing out there that things that you want to customize, and how do you get inspiration for what's next?
Sure. I mean, from the variable side, the first thing you don't want to hear is preloads, right? So when you hear that, you're like, oh gosh, we're going to start tacking costs on the vehicles. But what we found is with the Bozard Built is there's a lot of value to that package, right? So the sales guys get excited about it, building the value behind that product that you're putting on those vehicles. There's a lot more than just preloading, your inventory. So we are big proponents of supporting that. What we've tried to do more of is, to Grace's point, is just showcasing the inventory. We're selling them so quickly that we have one in process right now, and it's already sold before it's even out of the shop. So really the future goals for us for next year, our priority is to be able to stock more inventory so that those customers don't have to wait for those vehicles to be completed. And if they do want that full customization builds, just setting that expectation, it might take a little bit longer. But what we're finding is the ones that are already built and on the lot, they're selling quicker than we can get them out currently. So really working together on refining that process to have more inventory to sell more.
Grace, what are you seeing in terms of trends and what's next, and looking for inspiration as to, what to customize?
I think we're going to continue to elevate the brand, make it cool, and make it something that's kind of aspirational. Like, oh man, I want a Bozard Built truck, just like you would say, oh, I want a Shelby truck, or all those other performance brands. So I think we're just going to keep doing more of that.
Absolutely.
Well, it's an exciting time, Mike.
It certainly is. I can see the brand building. I can see it becoming a national brand.
Yeah, and we know some dealers who've really built their brand and customizing their vehicles, okay, and are known for that around the country. So looking forward to all that's coming, everybody, for Bozard and Bozard Built. Congratulations to all of you on the inspiration and thought to do this and carrying it out. Another Bozard thing that is a first and growing bigger. So I'm Ted Ings. We're here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. I'm here with Mike King from Revolution Parts. We're here with the Bozard Built panel, and we will be right back.